This is Haley Johnson for Speech 101, and today I will be giving my speech on climate change and the effects of global warming. To start off, global warming is a real issue that we are currently facing across the globe. We have issues all over the world. We have smog issues in India, we have wildfires in California, we have devastating hurricanes here in the South, and it's time that we recognize this as a real issue and make the industry changes in order to stop this issue and be able to have a bright future ahead of us. The average person will make up to 4.4 pounds of trash every single day, and that equals 1,600 pounds of trash every single year. So you can imagine that a lot of people making that much trash is just really disturbing, and it's really something that makes you think about how much trash you should produce and how you need to be more mindful of the effects of your habits and the use of plastic, etc. So my experience living in America, I notice a lot of people typically litter and they will throw trash out of their windows. They don't really care about keeping the earth clean. Though we do have fines for littering, I feel like it's not really seen as a really important offense to stop and pay attention to. So I think that that's a really important thing that we need to start enforcing, because people still litter, and I can vouch for that because I see it happen all the time. So greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide are going to be the main reasons of global warming. If we do not reduce the use of greenhouse gases by at least 80%, then we have no chance of ever reversing the damage of global warming that we've already caused. Factory farming is also one of the biggest producers of greenhouse gases, having mass amounts of live animals that produces a lot of methane that is put into the air, and all of these gases ultimately lead to the melting of the Arctic and Antarctic ice caps, which will cause sea levels to rise. It's really terrible, and if we don't stop this at the industry level and start using renewable energy, then we will be completely devastated by at least 2050. There will be no way that we can reverse the damage if we don't take the action to do that now. The current issue that we seem to be facing is the weather patterns that constantly change. We have wildfires that happen every July, August, September out in California. We have tsunamis that happen in Asia. We have earthquakes that happen in California and other parts of the Middle East and Asia. We have really bad hurricanes here in the South and in the islands below us and in South America. And that is all due to climate change and how global warming affects the atmosphere and the air and causes weather patterns to completely change. And that affects us because natural disasters can be very devastating. They can completely take all of your personal belongings, completely strip you. A couple of years ago, there was a hurricane in Denham Springs, Louisiana that completely left all of my friends without homes. They had lost all of their childhood belongings, all of the family photos. It's horrible, and that will continue to happen to us if we do not make these changes. Tree destruction is also a terrible cause of climate change. So when we're committing deforestation, a lot of animals will lose their ecosystems, they will lose their habitats, they will die. We have a lot of animals that are going extinct, or who are on the verge of going extinct. And if we don't protect our wildlife, then we will lose millions of animals that we have seen today. And we need to remember that we do not have a planet B. We cannot just ship everybody in the world, 7 billion people, to Mars. We have no other place that we can go. So if we don't solve this issue, we are stuck with it. And we've all seen the movie WALL-E. We all know what happens when we become trash world. I mean, there's really nothing that we can do except make the changes to do that. And we need to get our politicians to listen to us, to take a stance, take a change. Don't call it a hoax. Make the changes at the industry level that are the largest to reduce the effects of climate change. And, you know, we have these resources at hand. We have renewable energy from the use of running water and wind power and moving rocks. We have these resources at hand, but we fail to notice them and we fail to implicate them into our everyday lives. And it's just very sad to see, and it's very frustrating being somebody who cares so much about the earth and then having other people that just completely have no disregard for the ground that they walk on. But there are some organizations out there that do focus on climate change. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are one of them, and you can contact them at 828-271-4800. They're a great organization that focuses on helping our oceans and helping reduce the amounts of greenhouse gases, exactly what I've been talking about today. And they're very adamant about working with politicians to take the steps needed to do this. But in conclusion, my speech is meant to educate my audience on the effects that global warming and climate change will have on us in the future. We may not experience now, we may experience it later with natural disasters, but we will never understand the destruction that we have already done to this earth. But we have the resources at hand to make these changes. So it's time to speak up and finally get our planet clean. Thank you.